It's one of the most terrifying experiences ever. Sincerely, I mean, the man is so big, I can't even fathom having to tackle him or just getting hit by him. What's up, everybody? Adam Kramer here with the Game Day, ready to do a little winners, some losers, and some one to keep an eye on here after Week 15 of the NFL season. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Week 15 has come and gone. We got 2 weeks left. We're going to make the most of it. The schedule gets a little weird with the holidays, of course, so you have to keep an eye on that. But really, really excited for the last few weeks because I think it's going to be exciting. So we always start with the positive and the winners. My winner this week is Josh Allen's agent. Now, that's a very cute way of saying Josh Allen. Cute's the wrong word. Probably not a football word, but let's go with it. Cute. His agent. Because I think Josh Allen is going to be in line for an enormous payday coming up very, very soon, or at the very least, he should be by the Bills. Let's start recently what he's done, because this is like becoming the normal thing. Bills beat Denver on the road 48-19. Allen in that game, 359 passing yards, 33 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. On the season, okay, this is the year now, 4,000 passing yards, 38 total touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Also has like not 900, that'd be pretty insane. About 400 yards of rushing. You look at last year's numbers, 29 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, was having a good year. He's having an MVP-like year for a really, really good team. Do you know what we do with quarterbacks that are good? We don't let them leave. And so I'm expecting the Bills to lock him up, and I'll talk a little bit about the timing here, which I think is interesting. Now, let's go back to the 2018 draft. I did an interview with Josh Allen when he was at Wyoming before that draft. At the time, he was relatively unknown. And I remember I was watching him practice, went out to lunch. I was floored by his size. I was floored by the gifts. And the question surrounding him was, would those gifts translate into what they are? They have. But there was some question about it. Had some rough games his last year at Wyoming. In fact, when he was taken number 7 overall in that draft, people kind of like scoffed at it, right? You took Baker Mayfield, took Sam Darnold, took Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson went in there. You look at this collection of quarterbacks, like no laughing now. Like Josh Allen of those 4 is going to get paid the most money, or at least should get paid the most money with how he's played. Now, timing of this is also interesting. Patrick Mahomes just got a massive, massive payday, of course, this past offseason. That was a 2017 draft pick. Allen, of course, a year later. Is that extension coming now? Are they going to work on it? I think he's proven enough that you've got to lock him up, because I don't think the price is going to go down. I love what the Bills have done for him, by the way. Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator, has done a great job. You go get Stephon Diggs. That has worked out well for everybody. Like, the Bills have done an awesome job developing him. I just think at this point, you're going to have to lock him up. And if you represent Josh Allen, I don't think you expected, even you, the agent, I don't think you'd expect this kind of performance. I didn't. And I interviewed him. I saw the gifts. I knew he was capable of it. The guy has just been insane, and the offense is great. I just expect that to continue. Bills, get the checkbook out, and congrats to your representation, Josh, and to you, because I think it's coming, and it may be coming soon. The loser. Oh, I got to take a deep breath here. Think about it. I know what the loser is, the New York Jets. I've got to think about just how big of a losing week this is. We don't really know yet. But it feels pretty seismic, and we've done a lot of tanking-focused winners and losers because it's interesting, and because Trevor Lawrence is out there, this is potentially enormous developments in the NFL. So the Jets beat the Rams 23-20. They win outright as a 17-point favorite on the road against what looked to be a really good team. They are now 1-13, and they no longer have the number 1 overall draft pick. If the season were to end today, that would go to the Jaguars, who are also 1-13, but have the strength of schedule edge. All right, I want to say this, first of all. I'm happy for the players. I think when you do one of these, you do want to have kind of a soul to it. I would never want to be on a team that doesn't win a game. So I'm happy for Sam Darnold. I'm happy for Adam Gase. I can't imagine being a part of like this ridicule, and you're in such an odd position because the fans really do want you to lose. And so part of me I feel the soul for these people that have been going through this season that just has been a disaster. That being said, the Jets were in a potential position to draft Trevor Lawrence. And this is a big development. And unless something changes, that's probably not going to be the case anymore. Now, here's what we have left. The Jets play Cleveland at home. They'll be a big underdog there. They play New England on the road. They almost beat New England earlier in the year. The Jags play Chicago at home and then Indy on the road. They did beat Indy early in the year. That was a long, long time ago, week 1. And Indy's a much different team now. Chicago, maybe. So I think the Jags are in really, really good position. Now, the Jets have been kind of flirting with this. Of course, they shouldn't have lost to Oakland on that goofy Hail Mary that got Greg Williams fired. They probably should have beat New England. With the exception of the Seattle game, they've played a bit more competitively. They've gotten a little bit healthier, which has helped. This is still, though, a monumental loss. And it's just, as a fan, they find new ways to disappoint and torture you. So while I feel for the players, and I imagine this is happy for them, I'm not happy for me. And I'm not happy for my team because Trevor Lawrence, as much as I've covered him, he's really, really good and is probably going to change a franchise's future like immediately. And right now, that wish and the hopes to have him are gone. It is torturous being a Jets fan. I don't know why I do it, but you just can't not do it. So the Jets win. Huge upset, by the way. 17-point underdog and win outright. Jared Goff. I just don't know how that happened. They almost blew it. The Jets tried to make me happy, but they are big losers by winning. Okay, last one. And this one's near and dear to my heart, too. My one to watch, Derrick Henry and his chase for 2,000 rushing yards. Now, if you've ever stood next to Derrick Henry, okay, and I remember doing this in college on the sideline. There was a national championship, actually, where I almost got, run over by him, and it's one of the most terrifying experiences ever. Sincerely, I mean, the man is so big, I can't even fathom having to tackle him or just getting hit by him. So here's where we stand heading into these last 2 weeks. Henry, another big game. He's on one of late. He had 24 rushes, 147 yards, and a touchdown against the Lions. His last 5 games, 733 rushing yards, an average of close to 150 per game. I remember I did a winners and losers a little bit back and talked about running backs being losers and the position changing. Well, Henry, since then, at least, has not been anything close to a loser. In fact, it looks like he's doing his thing where he gets started. So, for those that are interested, he's now at 1,679 rushing yards. He's 321 yards away from 2,000 yards, which means he needs to average about 160 yards per game. It's not far from what he's been doing, frankly, and I think he can do it. What's most alarming, before we talk about whether it's possible or not, you know, a back that size, 230, 245 pounds, it's crazy that he gets better as the season progresses, right? So go back to 2019 and think about the season. He had 1,500 yards rushing in the regular season and then went nuts in the playoffs. I mean, he almost carried this team and felt like to a Super Bowl, had a shot, and it's predictable. You know he's going to get it, and then somehow he can still score from 90 yards out. He can score from anywhere on the field, despite being one of the biggest human beings to ever play the position. If you have not done it yet, go look at his high school numbers. Go look at his senior season of high school, and I promise you'll love it. After this video, go check those things out. All right, so the last 2 games, I'm just in awe of Derrick Henry as a whole. I could talk about him forever. The last 2 games, you play the Packers and the Texans. You're on the road for both. Packers, middle in the pack. I mean, I think he should be able to have a big game there. And then the Texans are near the bottom in rush defense. So who knows what that game could mean or look like. But if these games are played straight up, actually the Packers game is going to be a lot of fun. He can do it. I think he has an absolute shot at this. He probably needs a 200-yard rushing game in there, right? You get 200 yards. Maybe that's the last week. Maybe it's against the Packers. Who knows? He needs one of those long trademark Derrick Henry runs. And I think he has a chance. But going up against these defenses, if Tennessee continues to play the way it has, I think he's got an absolute shot. Of course, we saw Chris Johnson of the Titans hit the 2,000-yard mark back in 2009. I can't believe it's been that long. I feel incredibly old. So I want to see him do it because I'm a fan of his. I love his running style. And again, we'll get into the playoffs, and who knows, beast mode activated. So there they are, winners, losers, and one to watch. It would not shock me at all if Derrick Henry is a winner here over the next couple of weeks. Appreciate you guys. A reminder, check out the pod. I'll say it one more time. Wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, check us out. We are really going to dig in here, the home stretch, try to close out what has been a winning season, and then, of course, get into the playoffs. We appreciate your guys' feedback on the debate. You can check me out on Twitter at Kegs and Eggs. You can ask me any question you want. You can tell me my criticisms or my critiques or my analysis stinks. I can take it. In fact, I enjoy it. And with that, I will talk to you guys next week.